Seth Trimble off the mark. Tom Beatty, second leading scorer, gets it up to Christensen. Little show and go. Went for the jam, but he got blocked by Trimble.
Well, one of the things you're going to see, Seth Trimble, if you haven't watched it, one of the best athletes in the country. He's showing that with his shot blocking ability as well.
Here's R.J. Davis, and that's a good sign for North Carolina. He's gotten off to a bit of a slow start from the shooting perspective outside the arc.
Yeah, coming in only 5 of 25 from beyond the arc at 20%, but knocks down his first attempt here. And again, Coach Aranganat told us, of course, he's going to wait for the night to get hot against us.
He was asking, could he just go cold for one more night, one more game? But he knocks down his first attempt. Beatty on the drive, hangs in the air. That one trickles off. Christensen, the follow. I'm not sure if you count it as a dunk, but it is a putback, and Hawaii on the board.
Yeah, regardless of whether it's a dunk or not, it still counts for 2 points, the first 2 for the Rainbow Warriors.
Elliot Cadeau quickly the other way. These guys get up the floor in a hurry.
That's the thing with North Carolina. They run after makes.
Rim, and finally corralled here by R.J. Davis, always looking to push. Ian Jackson, fantastic freshman on the floor now. Drives the lane, draws the contact. And boy, is he a load for Hawaii. And Jackson, November, a 3-point loss, 92-89 against #1 Kansas. A game that
is what gives away.
It's a friendly crowd here, as they have come out in droves to see Carolina in person. And a nice around. Here is Namiksha, 3 off the mark. And the rebound gathered by Drake Powell, another fantastic frosh. And he tears to the hoop and draws the whistle.
So what is this saying? What is
to see him pile up fouls? But another look at Drake Powell, yet another McDonald's
day that had all the NBA scouts buzzing.
And he grew up about 30 minutes from Chapel Hill. Here's Akira Jacobs, who hails from Yokohama, Japan, played for Team Japan in the Paris Olympics this past summer. And another turnover here, snatched away by Ian Jackson. Ahead, and Davis with the reverse. Wow.
Psycho T, a.k.a. Tyler Hansbrough, for not only the North Carolina lead, but the ACC's leading scorer.
And there is Akira Jacobs. Did not play in Hawaii's last game against Weber State due to a foot injury, but he knocks down the 3, and that ends a 10-0 Carolina run. But right back to work goes Ian Jackson.
Played in the Olympics. Akira Jacobs absolutely has to have a big performance tonight.
Joker, he was going up against some of the best ballers in the world. What an experience, but of course the other as well. This is Marcus Green, that 3 a little long. And collecting the rebound is Jerome Palm. Jacobs again, got it!
Jacobs has had an immediate impact off the bench. Coming in, knocking down 2 threes already, has 6 of the 8 points for the Rainbow Warriors.
R.J. Davis shovels it, and it's thrown down by Van Allen Lubin. This is Cade Tyson, transfer from Belmont, gives him some good veteran presence here on the floor as R.J. Davis draws the whistle. And that'll be an assistant under Roy Williams at North Carolina from 2012 to 2021. Before the Maui, what do you think? He goes, let's just play ball, man. Let's just play.
It's just hooping. That's all it is. And that's absolutely.
Carolina by 10. Shooting 50% from the floor so far. Hawaii 21%. This is Ryan Rapp, a lone returning starter. And Cody Williams, someone's got to get it up, and it's Akira Jacobs.
Saw a teammate in trouble, didn't stand waiting for the basketball, made it happen.
Jalen Washington, nice cut to the hoop.
Jay Wash with the nice hands in there, catching and finishing. One of the things that Aranganat talked about was how well the guards for North Carolina drop off the pocket passes. Great example there.
Meanwhile, Ryan Rapp able to draw the foul against Cade Tyson.
What I think about that is look at the way Duke has challenged itself in going out to McHale, getting the win over Arizona, who's now lost 2. This is going to favor North Carolina because they want to get up and down. And North Carolina forces you to have to play their pace. They're going to run after makes. They're going to run after misses. Even against the zone, they don't want to wait. And you see the beautiful cut.
There's Christensen. Trying to work against Washington. Under 10 to shoot. Green up and under. That goes up, in, and 1. last season at Houston Christian, where he was the team's leading scorer, 15 points a game.
Just give me 8 second chance points with the free throw off of 6 offensive rebounds. So they've been beating North Carolina at their own game, even though the Heels still hold an 8-point lead.
Lubin. That was a tough turnaround over Christensen. He's piling them up.
The Tar Heels have had a number of looks right at the rim, just unable to finish them. The only shots that they would make.
Jacobs loose underneath again.
Another great cut by Jacobs, not standing and waiting for his teammates to throw the basketball, but no recognition. And Cade Tyson's able to take advantage of.
Cross-court pass, now Beatty. Tries to go off glass, no. Christensen, the offensive board. Back up and in.
And more of the same, now 7. Classy as that of him, of course, not only to show up, but having to lay on as well to make sure he shows his support for the Rainbow Warriors.
So we got a whistle away from the basketball. Hawaii within 8 here. 7:06 left to play in this first half. By the way, 6th year of college hoops. That was the 8th team foul for Carolina. His 5th point. He also has 8 rebounds, 5 of those at the offensive end.
Hondo Baycott for 5 years was the man in the middle for the Tar Heels.
R.J. Davis, the teardrop.
I see. It's been a while since we worked together,
Right.
but
You're not the biggest fan of the float.
no, that we can tell the truth. I hate floaters.
Davis pulling up from 3, got fouled in the act, and he's going to have 3 free throws coming up.
And this is what R.J. Davis does. He gets to the free throw line up for 3.
And this is an area where he is among the very best. Carolina history.
Yeah, right ahead of my guy, Shammond Williams. Shammond shooting because we still get a chance to talk about it.
How are you as a free throw shooter back in the day?
You know what? Not as good as I should have been. I will absolutely say that I should have been a much better free throw shooter than I was.
There's Beatty driving baseline. Little bounce pass to Christensen, who hung in the air for an extra nanosecond and got it to go off glass.
But look at the transition. North Carolina Trimble unable to get that one to go, but you get a shot at the rim within 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Christensen finds Green cross court, blows by Davis, and then got fouled on what was first. And Green gets the first free throw to fall this young season. Gets both of them.
And you see now the Rainbow Warriors extending their pressure.
And it bounces out to Green. What about the ball movement here by the Rainbow Warriors? And Harry Rulia-Def with the jump hook. And it's a 5-point game.
And you can see right now that the Rainbow Warriors are not fearful at all of attacking the paint against North Carolina. They've been able to flex their muscle on the inside.
And that gets the crowd into it. R.J. Davis trying to quiet them. Can't. The follow-up, though, will draw a whistle. Tie.
That is not something that the Tar Heels are used to ever seeing. Their first second chance points of the game.
Under 4 minutes to play here in the first frame. Cadeau with the crossover move. Goes up with the left, the finish, and one. Wow.
Elliot Cadeau, however, he gets loud on this possession. The crossover to the rim, switching to the left hand and the finish off the glass.
At North Carolina, who have the 12-13 season.
Who happens to be sitting on the bench, coaching up. Elliot Cadeau. Last year was Marcus's first season as on the sidelines for the University of North Carolina, who has all 6 of its coaches who have all played at their alma mater, the only team in the country.
Rulia-Def couldn't get that one to go, but he does draw the
season from beyond the three-point arc.
30 Eastern on ESPN. Drake and Vandy. Seconds to shoot. Jacobs, little fadeaway shot. That doesn't go. The tip by Namiksha. The second one was the charm. North Carolina. They've made one of them. They're averaging 9 made threes a game. Jacobs for 3. Oh, that one streamlined on him. Oh, how about the behind the back dribble? But Ian Jackson is rudely met at the rim. Stays in this direction, out of bounds.
I'm not sure what was more impressive. How quickly Ian Jackson got from point A to point B, or how quickly the Rainbow Warriors got back. Jacobs coming up with a big block shot there that RJ wishes he would have let that one fly.
Second turnover of this first half here for Carolina. Here's Nemo. Ryan Rack with the strong pump fake, and that's good. 1 minute to play here in the first frame. Davis, the step back.
And just a little hand gesture, just a little quick shh to the crowd, even though they're not going to quiet down. All right, gets him to quiet down for a quick second.
But Tom Beatty takes Davis off the bounce.
The response from Beatty attacking RJ off the bounce.
RJ Davis now with 14 points to lead all scorers. This Hawai'i zone has done the job here. Ian Jackson, though, the zone breaker from outside the arc.
And that's where he's so much improved from earlier in high school, his ability to shoot the 3.
So a last shot opportunity here for Hawai'i. 4 seconds, Beatty looking up at the clock. Got to get the shot up, he does. And that's how the first 20 minutes come to a close.
A lot of credit for executing it very well.
Playing deep into this possession. 7 seconds to shoot. Tanner Christensen, a couple of moves, and he rocks the rim.
And Christensen showing off his veteran leadership and expertise and experience in the paint. However, you can never relax against the
bucket. North Carolina's at the other end. And this here offensively. Now under 10. Christensen lost the handle. Numbers for the Tar Heels. Bounce pass, RJ Davis, the layup is good.
Now that's what the Tar Heels, North Carolina had a lot of opportunities in the first half. Right at the rim, they were unable to take advantage of, but get a good, quick one here to start the second.
Cross court, this is Trimble for 3. Yes.
Ron Gnott was very...
And it is already a 7-0 run here for North Carolina. A little over a minute, and they wrestle the ball loose again. It's Seth Trimble. Bounce pass again, Cadeau. And you just mix and match those guards, fill in the lanes.
Walton all next week in Maui, and giving him his due flowers.
There's Tom Beatty out of the timeout. I had the incredible privilege of working alongside Bill for last year's Maui Invitational, and
it was Bill Walton and myself. And I can remember I had my coach in person at the Hall of Fame induction in 2022. And the first thing he said,
they have ramped up the defensive pressure here. Hawai'i again getting deep into the shot clock. 3 seconds to shoot. Rulia Def for 3, and he splashes down.
And that's a welcome sign for the Rainbow Warriors. The struggles have been imminent throughout the first half. Only 2 of 14 from beyond the three-point arc.
And right back at the other end, Elliot Cadeau with the left.
There's never time to celebrate against North Carolina. You make a 3, you're excited about it, maybe things are going in your favor, and just like that, Elliot Cadeau's breaking down your defense and then taking the cookies.
Yeah, picking a pocket, and ahead it goes to Trimble for the throwdown and 1. As Cody Williams got under.
Normally you want to go for the alley-oop pass, and again, great hands by Elliot Cadeau, but instead of going for the lob, he just drops it on a dime.
How incumbent is it on the post play to maybe under 10 on this possession? Green trying to make something happen. Leaning into Trimble, got blocked, and Trimble able to snatch it out of the air. Drives to the basket, and he'll go to the free throw line.
had 12 second chance points in the first half, but the Tar Heels have kind of cleaned that.
And this is the second to Hawaii with 4 turnovers in the last 4 minutes.
And you see Hawaii dropping back into the 2-3 zone, which we saw from them in the first half, that was able to slow North Carolina down a bit. I'm sure it's something that Hubert Davis adjusted to.
My goodness. They had some cruel intentions there. And the free throw no good there from Jalen Withers.
Would that have been a Sports Center top 10, or will we have to wait until tomorrow?
Missing on the mid-ranger. Ryan Rapp. Offensive rebound there collected by Jerome Palm.
4 points, so it's going to be difficult to beat the Tar Heels when all you're doing is scoring with their scoring. It is virtually impossible to get done.
We have definitely seen North Carolina turning up the heat defensively here in this second half as well.
And that's one of the great things about having the depth that Hubert Davis has on his bench. You've got 2 McDonald's All-Americans in Ian Jackson and Drake Powell coming off the bench. So as a starter, you don't have a choice but to perform.
Nice pass underneath and the finish by Drake Powell, 6'6" freshman from Pittsboro, North Carolina.
And I love the way Ian and Drake have both come in and accepted coming off the bench and really come in and played hard with their opportunities, not pouting about not starting, not being entitled, but coming in and doing their job.
Open look here. This is Gitis Namiksha, and a much-needed 3. First field goal for Hawaii that goes down in about 3 minutes. R.J. Davis trying to respond. And that's going to be a whistle against Hawaii on.
This is the first time that I've arrived in Honolulu at nighttime, because I'm normally greeted by a rainbow.
Namiksha again, catch and shoot. That's a couple of 3s that he's now drained.
And it's down to 14.
5 seconds to shoot. Davis off the jab step. Too strong with it, but the offensive board, and followed by Washington.
And again, the more Jalen Washington does that, the better this North Carolina team will be. The Tar Heels have always been a team that's been great on the offensive glass. They're going to be calling on him for extra possessions.
Jacobs got it.
Speaking of calling on, Jacobs is keys.
And you've gotten those.
And it's a 13-point game now, as the Bows continue to fight their way back into this one.
Trimble going baseline, and they're going to call the defensive foul with 11 seconds.
The Champions Classic, and now taking on Duke in Vegas basketball early in this season in college basketball.
Trimble going to 15. Here's Namiksha from the other side. He's got the hot hand.
Nemo is warming up, shall I say. The goal right now for the Rainbow Warriors is finding Nemo. You gotta make it happen. You knew it was coming.
Meanwhile, 16 points. Make that 18 points for RJ. Hawaii has made 4 straight field goals, and now a foul will go against Jalen Withers. Another look at Gitis Namiksha, the long arms, big hands, doesn't mind some of the physicality, but can get going, as we have seen, to get on 10 minutes to play. Cadeau, lob pass. The connection wasn't there, but a whistle will go against the Rainbow Warriors. And Jalen Withers now 0 for 3. Pace getting a little bit slower here at this stage of the second half.
Yeah, and that's because the Rainbow Warriors are trying to find a way to get the basketball either inside the Christensen or to get a good look on the perimeter.
That's going to be Withers.
Half. So give the Rainbow Warriors a lot of credit for cutting back into it, but when you miss those free throws, especially at this stage of the game, that costs you in a number of different ways.
Behind the back dribble, Cadeau, wow, finishing with the left.
That's just a great individual play by Elliot Cadeau. One-on-one, takes his guys. You mentioned the great behind the back, and then the finish at the rim, adjusting to the left hand and the soft touch off the glass.
We're going to have a whistle, looks like away from the basketball.
Absolutely is. And Hubert Davis told us yesterday was kind of a tough. We'll jump over to Maui tomorrow, but being here, getting a little more acclimated.
We'll get it into Christensen. He's been quiet here in the second half, drawing a lot of attention. But it's going to be a foul along the sideline. A rotation. One has rallied behind all of our friends over there in Lahaina town as they continue to rebuild since the devastating wildfires of over a year ago.
And if I'm correct, I remember you're bi-islander. You live in both Maui and Honolulu, correct?
Tanner Christensen missing the three. Yeah, that's kind of true.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was making sure. You got places everywhere.
Well, I mean, you know what's better than living on one island in Hawaii?
Living on two.
There you go.
I get it.
Here's R.J. Davis on the drive. Tyson leaning in. And a whistle-heavy second half continues here as
the younger brother of all ACC performer.
7% three-point field goal percentage, second in Division I.
Anderson, Fog Allen Fieldhouse, you talking about a different level of competition than what he's seen at Belmont. And it takes a while to get used to that. And of course, in a different role. Before, he was kind of the guy. Now he's just one of the guys.
Well, this guy has been good in his 2 years with North Carolina. Elliott, the North Carolina side of the bracket, themselves obviously in Auburn and Iowa State. North Carolina will tip things off against Dayton as the last game on day one on Monday.
And Dayton, who does also have a Maui Invitational title with Obi Toppin a few years back, coming over.
Go to work. He is 7 for 8 from the field with 15 points.
And for the record, in the second half, he's been the guy.
The pull up there by Ryan Rapp off the mark. Namiksha, another crack at it here for Hawaii. And it'll be a reach-in foul against Trimble.
North Carolina last year. He came in very quiet. He's taken that next step of becoming the true leader of this team on the offense.
Here is the guy kicking it to Tyson. Can't hit the three. Good look there for Cade Tyson. And it's going to be a foul on Hawaii underneath.
And Jalen Washington putting the pressure on the Rainbow Warriors on the offensive glass. I believe that's going to be, is it?
Washington standing by himself, attempting the foul shots, and he gets the first to go.
But he's still got to dap up your teammates. Do it again, Jay Wash. Oh, he doesn't do it on that one. Behind him as well. It wasn't just the teammates in front. He got the two from behind.
Tyson going back over the left shoulder. That was a nifty move.
And this is what Hubert Davis wants to see of Cade Tyson. He wants to see him a little more aggressive. And you see him attacking the basket. We've seen now him driving it to the rim multiple times. That helps you make the three.
Marcus Green making a three.
Now, the Rainbow Warriors have been much better from beyond the arc here in this second half. Of course, North Carolina has limited their second chance opportunities as well as the points in the paint. But they have helped themselves from beyond the arc.
That was the first made field goal for Hawaii in over 6 minutes. Meanwhile, Elliot Cadeau just continues to do Elliot Cadeau things.
That Aran Ganot talked about with playing against North Carolina was getting back in a number of times. And so even though you're trying to play in gaps and keep them out of the paint, it's still...
Now under 10 to shoot. Ryan Rapp putting it on the deck, and it's going to be a defensive foul against Cade Tyson.
Who didn't score for the first 2 minutes of this game, but here we are.
Quieted for the most part in this second half. At half. Green, the riser, gets the friendly bounce.
Green has had some impressive possessions throughout this game, something you can build.
Hang on to it, and Hawaii controls. Beatty, the riser. Nice Beatty from New Zealand.
Nice play by Beatty right there, recognizing that he had the advantage.
Tyson. That is a splash from the corner.
Remember, we talked about play 2 days, have a day off in the middle, and then finish on the 4th day. So it's very similar to the conference tournaments that many of these teams will be in the championship game of later in the season.
And a foul there on the drive by Ian Jack, sophomore, who was working on his.
I was going to let you pronounce that name.
I was more than happy to take that one from you. Aaron Hunking-Clater, also freshman out of Wahiawa here on the island of Oahu. Trying to get it out to Ruliadef. And Ruliadef with the bucket.
And Hawaii gave them everything that they wanted early in this one.
The takeaway, and Obasohan lost his footing but gets fouled, and they're going to send him to the free throw line to shoot 2. Well, he's making his debut, so we got a little.
Forced the foul.
So Obasohan.
I think he should just change his name to that. I like that.
Just the one name?
Yes.
Yeah.
God, you answer my prayers.
Oh.
I like that.
Oh,
that's the one I'm going with.
Do the translation.
Yes.
So Carolina in no particular rush here. Shot clock and game clock about even.
I believe they will take the shot clock violation here.
And so a strong crowd here in Honolulu as Jackson takes it to the hoop for good measure.
And Hubert Davis gave in the okay to take the shot and not take the violation.
Oh, Obasohan almost with another answered prayer there from midcourt, but that is how this game comes to a close. 80+ points in the first 4 games this season for North Carolina. First time since 21-22 when they reached the NCAA title game. Final score, Carolina 87-69. For Corey Alexander, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Join us Monday when we kick off the Maui Invitational.